At the dinner table, there is always a finite amount of food to go around. When you get pocket money, it rarely covers your wish list. You simply can't have it all. So how do you choose? Do you buy new clothes or save for school? Who gets that last piece of chicken? These daily calculations, figuring out how to make the most of what little we have, are where the study of economics actually begins. To understand how this works on a larger scale, we use a specific vocabulary. First, there are goods. These are physical, tangible items like clothing, a vehicle, or food. Then, services, intangible work like teaching or nursing. Producing anything requires resources. Think of them as a puzzle: land, labor, capital, and the entrepreneur. Economic agents, households, firms, and government constantly interact to allocate these inputs. Every time you buy a snack, a firm pays a worker, or a government builds a road, these agents are making decisions that shape our communities. This illustrates the core problem of human existence, a scale heavily tipped by unlimited wants against strictly limited resources. To bring this into balance, we must distribute those scarce resources. Economics is the science studying how individuals, businesses, and governments make those choices. Because resources are finite, every decision carries a cost. Economics gives us the framework to measure those options and make the most effective choices possible. We can analyze these choices through two different lenses. Look at this street market. Microeconomics studies exactly this level, the localized, individual decisions made by single households and specific businesses about buying and selling. If we zoom out to the entire country, we switch to macroeconomics. This lens looks at aggregate variables that affect the whole system at once, tracking overarching data points like total GDP, national inflation, and unemployment rates. To see how an economy really functions, you need both lenses: the individual actions of the buyers on the ground and the broad health of the entire nation. Economists make two distinct types of statements. The first is positive economics. As highlighted here, these are objective statements based entirely on facts and data analysis. In contrast, normative economics involves subjective value judgments, expressing opinions about what ought to be. Let's test this. First, the government provided free primary education, increasing enrollment. Second, the government should provide subsidies for farmers. The first is positive, testable via school records. The second uses should, making it a normative value judgment. Separating verifiable, testable data from personal beliefs is a necessary skill for evaluating any real-world economic debate. So who does this work professionally? An economist applies these models to analyze data. As this text shows, they conduct empirical studies and produce forecasts to predict future trends. That analytical skill translates directly to the private sector. Economists work as corporate consultants, data analysts, or entrepreneurs who use market data to build their own companies. In the public sector, economists step into roles at government agencies. At institutions like the Bank of Ghana, they design the monetary policies that guide national development. They take the mathematical reality of resource allocation and use it to guide both business strategy and public policy. To review what we've covered today, the core problem of economics is scarcity, the tension between unlimited wants and limited resources. We study this through the branches of micro and macroeconomics, and we debate it using verifiable positive facts and subjective normative opinions. From splitting up dinner at home to managing international trade, economics is the study of the choices we make to allocate what we have.